This is a tutorial about how to recreate email template by Netflix in Figma and export this email as HTML code right from Figma with Marker Email Generator plugin. So let's get started. First, let's divide our email into some blocks. First, it's a header with background blurred image, logotype, image and buttons. Then it's a header, it's a title with two text objects. Then row of movies with title. There are a couple of these types of rows in this email. And then button, full with red button and footer. Okay, let's start with body and header. I prepared an image and screenshot of this email and all assets. All links will be in the description, link to this file and to the plugin. First, let's create an empty frame, F, then create a frame and set 500 width and add black color as a background. It's our body. Let's create a frame for the first block. Then let's use this image as a background for this frame. To do so, select rectangle with photo, then go to the fill, select fill, Command C, then select a frame, Command V. And now this image goes to the background of this frame. Then let's put all our assets. It's a logo, then some text, divider, photo, text, and all these things goes here. The next step, we need to add out layout for these items inside this frame. Let's start with like and dislike button. Let's select both images, then click Shift A. Now we have out layout container for these two buttons. Then let's create a block for the logo, title and rectangle. I selected all of them, Shift A, it's an auto layout, another auto layout block. And image, text, title and description. So we have frame, image, text, frame and text. The next step, let's select our container and transform this frame into auto layout frame. To do so, you can click Shift A or go to the right sidebar and click on auto layout setting here. Now make sure your text assets, let's check padding and height of this block. Let's set fixed width with the same width as our template, and let's set Figma adds 100 pixels as a padding. It's too much for mobile, and let's turn it into 24, for example. I would recommend to set for text objects inside this frame fill container settings. Fill container. Fill container. Fixed. Image fixed. Text fill container. Button container hug content. And text fill container 2. We can test this block and see how it works. To do so, run the plugin and select frame, and click on the preview button. It seems like it works for mobile. And all text rendered as text. So let's go to another blocks. The second block, it is two text objects. Let's select them, copy, and create an auto layout container for these two blocks. Shift A. Let's add a black background. For this container. Then, as in the previous example, set fill container for both text objects and adjust some paddings between and horizontal paddings too. Okay, we have this text block. Now let's create title with 3 images in a row. I selected 3 images, then click Shift A. I added auto layout container for these 3 items, and I would recommend to set full fill container for all images inside this frame. We need to do it for the better mobile alignment. Go to fill container. Okay. Now we have container and text object. Let's select both items and add auto layout container for them. Shift A. And as in the previous example, let's add the same. And we need to add fill container for the children too. Let's suggest height and add black background as in the previous example. Okay, we can do the same thing for all other blocks. And as a last step, let's create a footer with button. Let's transform this frame with text into a button. To do so, let's select the container, Shift A, then let's add some paddings and like this, and set fill container for text with center alignment. to transform this rectangle into a button, you need to run the plugin, then select this frame, go to the properties section, click here on the button and add a link. Okay, now we transformed this frame into a button. The next step, we need to add a container for this button. To add container, Shift A, we created a new outlet container, black background and the same paddings as before, and fill container for the button. Okay. Next, it's footer. Footer has two columns with logo on the left and text block on the right. So we need to create a container, outlet container for text items. And we need to create a container for these two lines. Shift A and auto layout. Then let's create a container for all text items. Shift A and auto fill container for all text items. And the next auto layout container we need to create with two columns. I selected logo and text items. And then Shift A. Let's adjust some spacing here. Set logo should be with fixed width and text block should have fill container. Okay, now it works. As an example, the last step, we need to adjust fill container to finish. The last step, we need to add black background for this footer. Okay, now we have top section, titles, row, button and footer. The next step, let's put all our parts into a container. And then select container, Shift A, and space between should be 0, and all items inside container should have fill container with setting. Okay, now we have auto layout template for this email. Let's run the plugin and check how it works. To run the plugin, make sure you installed plugin before. To run the plugin, you can find the plugin in the right sidebar or click Command/ and then find the plugin in the shortcut. Mark email generator, select run the plugin, then select container, go here in the check section, we have a button here, then preview, and it works for mobile and for the desktop. To export HTML, just click on the export here and export HTML file. Thank you. I hope it will help you to build cool emails. Subscribe to the channel to have more tutorials.